Dallas hosts DC United for an interconference MLS matchup on Saturday. Sportswriter and SBR contributor Kevin Stott is here now on the line, and he's going to preview the match for us today. Now, DC United are arguably the best team in the MLS right now, even though they enter this match with back-to-back losses. Is this theirs to lose, or will Dallas, with the home advantage, add another loss to the visitors' belt?
This game took a lot of handicapping and a lot of thinking to come up with the reality I came up with. I think I agree with you. I think DC United is in the top two, maybe the top three teams in the league at this point in time. They just play great defense. They're smart. They had a big problem, though, last week. Bill Hamid, their goalie, got hurt, and he's going to be out for 6 weeks. Their backup goalie, the goalkeeper, is really good, but you can't just replace one of the best goalkeepers in the league, Natalie. And this game is in Texas. It's in Dallas, and historically, in my notes here, historically, Dallas is pretty tough at home. They're playing really good this year. They're 6-2-1, so they've only lost one game at home. They've only given up 8 goals. They've won 3 straight overall, so they're playing good. They got the visiting or the road part of their schedule out of the way for the most part. And DC United, when they go to Dallas, they're just they've had trouble winning. So I'm just trying to check it out in the notes here. The last time DC United won in here in Dallas was 2007 when they won 4-0. So they've gone 4 straight games not being able to win down here. So even though they're really good this year, the location is going to be a big difference.
Yeah, well, the winner's market actually does have Dallas as the favorite, 1.8888 Sport, the draw 3.75 Bet365, and DC United 4.8 Bet Victor. Were you surprised by those odds, or are you agreeing with them?
You know what it was? To be totally honest with you, I was totally surprised when I saw the odds just a little bit at first, and then when I went back and looked at the historical reality of how DC United, who's an East Coast team, plays in the Southwest. They lose 2 hours in the time, or they actually only lose 1 hour in the time thing, but it's just a different reality. They go from playing on the East Coast, the Atlantic coast, to playing in Texas, in a place where a team's only lost 1 game all year. That's what really surprised me, is that Dallas just has 1 loss at home. And and they're expecting to win this game. It's going to be really tight. This is why I made an analogy of this being like baseball, a pitcher's duel. You're going to have the backup goalkeeper for DC United trying to keep his team in the game, and Dallas with a Kennedy in goal, probably, playing a really tough defensive game at home. I expect really few, probably less than 10 quality shots on goal combined in this game. I have Dallas winning this 1-0 in a low-scoring, almost a boring, but a really good soccer game in retrospect.
Well, I'm surprised by that. Just looking, obviously, at their last 3 meetings ended over 2.5 goals. Some games going more than that, with both teams scoring. So I was kind of on the lines of history repeating itself, but you're thinking now we're going to see a different pattern.
Yeah, it took some critical thinking, and obviously this is handicapping, and it's not a science. It's just an art. It's guesswork. And a lot of times I will, as you'll see in the next one we talk about, I'll go with historical trends, and it will overpower the reality. But in this situation, Dallas is not a bad team. I think that, no, seriously, I know DC United is very good. They've been on top of the East all year. They had a 10, and they have a 9-point lead in the Eastern Conference. But the West is so much better than the East. People forget that in sports. It's true in hockey. It's true in the NBA. It's true in MLS. The bulk of talent is in the West. And I'm not saying that because I live in the West. I'm saying it because I've bet sports for all these years. And my point is Dallas is just as good as DC United right now. And because it's in Texas, you're going to see them maybe turn the corner. And without Hamid, I think it's trouble for DC United, and it opens up a reality where Dallas can find a way to get the win.
All right, then. Well, the under 2.5 goals there is 1.8 Bet365. But run us through your tips that you've got for us today.
The under 2.5 minus $1.17 when I wrote this at Bet365 is the top pick, but FC Dallas just to win minus $1.17 is a pretty decent price. Like you said, I was surprised. I thought it would maybe be closer to even, but the odds makers saw what I saw, that FC Dallas is good at home, that DC United had lost their goalkeeper. That might be the difference in the line, is the fact that Hamid's not going to play. So that's the reality, and not having him in there is going to be a psychological thing. Plus, they're like most teams in all sports, especially in soccer, Natalie. Teams are much better at home than they are on the road, and that's definitely true with DC United. And going to play in Dallas isn't going to be fun for them.
All right, wonderful, Kevin Stott. Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thanks, Natalie.